Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're doing fine. My name is Isa Shiri. I'm a Izat University student. Today I'm going to present you how my project is how to design a habitat for 10,000 people to live on Mars. And my supervisor is Mr. Mohammed Masam Billah. So first, we're gonna go with the table of the content. We have here the internship project and work. In this area, we're gonna talk about what we need to do this project. Second, we have the experience. In this area, we're gonna talk about my experience with this internship. Okay, and then we have the discoveries. Okay, the internship project and work. First, we have the project introduction. In the project introduction, we're gonna do the project will develop the conception and design of a habitat for 10,000 people on Mars. And this study will discuss necessary resources like food, oxygen, as well as emergency and reserves. The structural design will also be studied starting from the shape to the dimensions and general layout for the habitat. Finally, we have the habitat was named the Utopia. We're gonna talk why we used this name. Second, we're gonna talk about possible project specification, like why the space required to house the 10,000 people, the oxygen needed for the creation of the atmosphere adapted for humans, the creation and maintenance of food and water supply for 10,000 people. We have the creation of an energy source that can deliver energy for the entire habitat. And finally, the quantities of water, food, medicine, and oxygen needed for emergencies. Now, we're gonna talk about the structural design. The structure must sustain all dead and live loads with an acceptable degrees of safety. The habitat must efficiently and economically houses and supports the operations for which is designed. The construction materials properties should include high strength, ductility, durability, tears resistance, and low thermal expansion. The structure must compatible with the international environment, heat management, and rejection and other support system. So now we're gonna talk about the materials. First, we have the metals. For example of metals, we have the steel, aluminum, titanium, magnesium, fabrics, and a lot of other metals. Those metals that we need to build our project. Second, we have the composite and carbon nanotubes. For the composite, it's a fiber reinforced plastics belong to the group of fiber composite materials. They consist of reinforcing fiber lying in matrix material. And for the carbon nanotubes are a very young research area. Those system consists of graphitics layers seamlessly wrapped to cylinders. And finally, we have the indigenous materials. Now we're gonna talk about the shape. When we deciding the shape of the space station, we looked at three possibilities. We have the sphere, the cylinder, and the truss. All these possibilities have some pros and some cons. So we're gonna go first with the sphere. This sphere has the largest volume, largest living area. The habitants shielded from deadly cosmic radiation by thickness of the sphere, and also have some cons like gravity varies along the entire space station. Artificial light source has to be placed in the center of the sphere. Okay, now we're gonna go with the cylinder. For the cylinder also have some pros and some cons. Here gravity uniform thought out cylinder rotating on longitudinal axis, large livable area, and expansions achieved by simply extending length of cylinder. The cons are natural sunlight into a cylindrical colony. In habitation can see the opposite side of the space station and the vast air volume required. Finally, we have the truth. The truths require much less air volume compared to the cylinder and the sphere. It has a light could be directed into ring with the use of mirrors, and the inhabitant cannot see the opposite side of the space station. He has some cons too, so his varied gravity levels along inner surface, increasing population would require successfully, and large stores increasing structural stress. So finally, the cylinder offered a large living area, but the truth required the air volume. It was then decided to take the best features of both shapes and incorporate them into the station. Now we're gonna talk with the about the general layout. So here, as you see, it's the general layout of Utopia.